Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy holidays. Good to have you here in class. Good to have you here in this morning market review session. We're having a good time. Hope you're enjoying the holiday. Happy Ramadan to all our Muslim fellows, all our Muslim friends, our Muslim family members, our beautiful and wonderful Muslim clients. Good to have you in this morning market review session this morning. We'll be working together, and then I'm sure that you agree with me that it's a morning whereby we have so much expectations from the market, so many expectations from the market, especially based on what has happened yesterday on the CPI data that we saw yesterday. And so this will give us a lot of volatility and a whole lot of feelings around the market today. And interestingly more is the fact that there is also interestingly more is the fact that there's also there's also fundamentals today that is going to be giving us a whole lot of strength and then a whole lot of positivity to trade with. So this is what I normally tell traders, okay, that this market is not a respecter of location, it's not a respecter of region. Okay, you can see that there's holiday in Nigeria. It's a festive season, but the market is open. The market is open. What that would have happened is that if there are valuable instruments in the market that comes from these regions that are observing the holiday, okay, these are the people that these are the parts of the market that will not open. Take for instance, if our beautiful NGN was tradable in this market, if it was tradable in this market, you would see that it will not open. It will not open for us to be able to trade it because there's holiday in our region. And so it is for every other instruments too, that there are holidays in their region that are obeying these holidays. You see that their instruments are not opened. Okay, so that is it for this market. So this market respects no holiday. It takes cognizance of, as long as there are economic activities happening in a particular region, the market is open. That's the reason why you can see that even amidst the holiday, very volatile data came out yesterday. The a very volatile data came out yesterday, which is the CPI, and we hope we took advantage of it and made money from it. Okay, so that is it. So I just want to indulge all of us, those of us that I can hear some people's uh background, like your audio. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. We should have only one speaker at the moment. At any time that you'll be called upon to speak, you'll be given the opportunity to speak. But at the moment, please and please mute your mic. Okay, somebody said, how come? But how come during Christmas holiday and New Year market, the market do not open? Mr. Victor, yes, thank you. You just answered your question yourself. It's a general holiday. Christmas is a general holiday. It is affected by every region. Funny enough, the market is also opened, but just that, let me use the word, there are few countries that do not celebrate Christmas, right? And so sometimes you notice that these countries do not have a lot of input in the world economy. So even when the market is open, there are instruments that you and I probably don't even are not interested in knowing about. Come to talk of trading them. So that is why it assumes to us that the market is totally closed, right? Because 90% of the instruments are closed. Okay. And as you have said, it's a general public holiday. It is not a holiday that is done based on region. All right. So quickly, let's see what Forex Factory has for us this morning. Let's see what it has to offer to us this morning and how we can also take advantage of it. Funny enough, there are a lot of news coming out in Forex Factory today that we can take advantage of and make money for ourselves. Just hold on. I'll quickly share my screen on Forex Factory. Okay, so this is first factory this morning. As you can see, this is first factory this morning. This is what first factory looks like this morning. So for today, we have some very good news too that would show us if dollar would be able to sustain this trend it gained yesterday. If dollar will be able to sustain this trend it gained yesterday. Today we have from the Eurozone, we have the Euro group meetings. It's an all-day meetings. I'm sure that at the end of these meetings, it's going to give us projections on what what the economy in the Eurofront will look like. But most interestingly, at 12:15 p.m. today, we'll be having the main refinancing with, and then we also have the monetary policy statement from the Eurozone today. So it means that there'll be volatility around Euro USD, Euro JPY, Euro CAD, DE40, and every other instruments that comes from the Eurozone. Okay. And then at 12:30 p.m., most times traders are always focused on only what is happening in the US zone. The Eurozone and the Japanese zone is also one very interesting zone to trade. But however, generally, most times we focus on what is happening in the US zone and forget these other zones. Can take advantage of these opportunities around these other zones too. At 12:30 p.m. today, we'll be having news around the US zone to where we are going to be having the core PPI. We're going to be having the core PPI. We're going to be having PPI. We're going to be having unemployment claims. Remember that if you have more people filing for unemployment in the economy, it means that the economy is not doing great. It means that there are no jobs, but you have less people filing for unemployment claims. It means that there are jobs, the economy is doing great, and then people will be able to it will also have a good font on the economy of that region. Okay, so thereafter at 12:45 p.m. we have the ECB press conference. ECB press conference. Remember they are having an Euro group meetings, and then there'll be ECB press conference at 12:45 p.m. It's going to be giving this conference, I believe, is going to be giving us clue on what this Euro group meetings is all about and what they are discussing. It's probably going to be a closed door meetings, so we're not going to be having more details, but I'm sure that this ECB press conference is going to shed more light or throw a little light on what is happening, what the Euro group meeting looks like, and what other information is going to be talking about. And then very importantly, at 5:01 p.m. today, we are going to be having the 30-year bond auction from the US zone. So there are a lot of opportunities in the market today, and very interesting is a public holiday. For those of us that are observing the public holiday, is an opportunity to trade, make money. But in trading, remember to work with your profit target. When you are done with your profit for the day, call it the day. Don't say because you are at home, you have all the holidays, so you can trade from morning to night. Yes, you can, but don't allow excitement to take over the day, and you see yourself making money in the morning and see yourself lose all the money in the evening, right? That shouldn't be the story. Okay, so that is it for what is happening around the Forex factory today. And then a little summary of what happened around the US zone yesterday. You can see that the CPI data that came out gave strength to dollar. Okay, it gave strength to dollar, and then this also it gave strength to dollar, and it also showed a consistent sustenance. I'll use the word because there isn't much increase. If you look at the data, the previous was 0.4%, okay, and the actual is actually 0.4%. So there was no major increase. There was no major increase. from the data. But however, what it shows to us is that the economy is to some extent being able to curtail inflation. They've been talking about interest rate hike, interest rate hike, interest rate hike, interest rate hike. But however, data like this that are coming out for the past 2-3 months are giving them indications that, oh, it looks like all is cooling down. It looks like it is getting better. Okay, so and then as an economist, when you see signals that, okay, these things are getting better, there might not be need to take some drastic measures that was intended to take to curtail that problem in the economy before. So you tend to will I use the word lower the tempo, or lower the yeah, just lower the tempo, reduce the rate at which you want to bring up a new policy to solve a problem, because you are seeing indications. But however, the Fed might be might not be looking at for more proofs. These data are proofs. These data are indicators. Are indicators that the economy is doing good. That all is beginning to smile in the economy. That is what this data is telling us. But however, the Fed might not want to rely totally on this data. So they'll start looking out for proofs to show that, oh, the economy is doing well. So that then there will not be need to increase inflation. So there might be look out for other data that might not necessarily been considered before, but now the Fed might have to look at them to use to confirm these indicators that are coming from data like CPI, PPI for the past 2 to 3 months, that is giving them indication that they should continue to do what they are doing, that inflation and the economy is gradually returning back to normalcy. As a colleague of mine will always tell you, that US will always never come out boldly to tell you that something is wrong in the economy. It is only us Nigerians that know how to cry. We know how to cry very well. We know how to shout that our economy is doing bad. You won't, if US is going through what we are going through, the food hike, the whole economic problem, especially food hike. I like food a lot, and I'm so angry that food is so expensive in Nigeria now. So if US was going through that, they will always put up data and make us feel that all is well from outside there. And the reason is simple. They want to sustain world economy power. They also want to sustain world currency, because if their currency is not good, trust me, other currencies will ride over it. I don't know if for those of us that have been traders for the past 2 to 3 years, sometimes early last year we started hearing about I'm trying to remember the acronym now. It's about I think it's about Russia, Euro, about 6 currencies coming together to say that about 6 currencies coming together to put up their own currency, to have a different currency. So it's like 6 countries coming together to fight only dollar, coming together to fight only dollar, so that when they bring out this currency, it's still in the pipeline, but however, there's no much news about it again. Then when it started, it was everywhere, and it was a threat to US dollar, because if they succeed in doing that, you see, US dollar might no longer become the only might no longer become the only currency that will be used for world exchange. You want to buy tickets, you are in Nigerian, they're asking you to pay in dollar. You're going to study abroad, you're in Nigerian, even though you're not going to US where dollar is their currency. You are going to the UK, you are going to countries where dollar is not their currency, but they're asking you to pay in dollar, because dollar is the world acceptable legal tender means of exchange. It kind of settles any dispute between 2 different countries coming to do business. We'll come together in the middle and say, okay, let's use dollar. And what happens? US as an economy makes profit from the exchange rate. US as an economy makes profit from the exchange rate. So I'm taking my time to do all these explanations so that we will understand why the US economy at every time wants to ensure that they remain the world economy. They want to be the ones ruling the world. They want to have the best economy. So even when there's fire on the mountain in the economy, they try to ensure that in the front, out there, you and I don't know that there's something wrong with the economy, and I'll give it to them. They've been doing good for themselves. And so the reasons why we always take advantage of high volatile news that is coming out from their regions, because you know that is money, money, money for everybody. All right, it's going to be money, money for everybody. Okay, so that being the case, we're going to be going straight to the chart this morning, having taken this background knowledge, having understood this background knowledge and understood what is happening. We're going to be taking advantage of these informations and then take advantage of it. Okay, so sorry. I'm just seeing the news, the update from some of you saying that my time zone is not correct. Okay, thank you so much. But I think even with that, the timing. Let me see. No, GMT +1. Okay, but we would have moved past that, but let me just correct it so that in case we need to fall back to that. Okay. Okay. All right. So the news is coming out by 1:30 p.m. I think I said that earlier. I was sure of the time even without looking at my forest factory. I think I was sure of the 1:30 p.m. time. All right. So that's fine. Let's continue with let's move to the chart. Can you all see my chart, please? Okay. Yeah, you can see my chart. So we can see what happened. I will be looking at USD-IDX to start with. Let's see what happened to USD-IDX on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we don't need we don't need anyone to tell us that the USD-IDX will close as a bullish candle. We do not need anyone to confirm that to us. That's going to close as a bullish candle. But however, I like to tell people that even at times fundamental respect technical. So you agree with me that technically speaking, the USD IDS have been having issues breaking above this stone quote resistance around price 104 region. It has been having issues breaking above that resistance. So you could see that since the 2nd of April, or not even the 2nd of April, since the 1st of April that price got there, each time price gets there, it gets rejected and comes down. So fundamentally, price has pushed it. One thing that price has done is that it was able to, this CPI data I did yesterday was able to regain the losses it made in how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For about 6 days, it was able to, in just one day, you see what fundamental does, it was able to regain the losses it has made. The push price over 100 points from price zone 103 to price zone 104 points in just one day, and in just a data that did not, a volatility that did not last for up to 3 hours in the market. Okay, so but however, price was still not able to break above the 104 price region, which it has been resisting since. And then for today's candle, we are gradually seeing please mute your mic, please. Okay, so as it is now, we're gradually seeing that price might be experiencing a rejection. But for me, however, if price is able to break above this zone completely today, we might be seeing a further push up in the US dollar, right? But technically, I do not really see price being able to break above it today. Okay, there's fundamentals today. Yes, fundamentals might push US dollar high again. But for me, technically, if price is able to break it and get up to this zone, if price is able to trade up to this zone or up to 1.105 zone today at the close of business today, we might expect that the US IDS will be going to test the 106 region around this zone. So let's see how price will play out around this today. And so since dollar is strong, we know what would happen to other pairs. We can see the drastic fall that happened to GBP, GBP USD, and we know what that means. It means that because of the strength in dollar, so the strength in dollar, this dollar really gained a whole lot of strength. I told you that it moved over 100 points away from the previous price zone. So this strength in dollar is going to really ride in the market today for a very long time. It's going to ride in the market today for a very long time. So that means that we'll see more of these other pairs respecting, moving according to the strength in dollar. GBP USD is selling because GBP is the base instrument, is the base. GBP is the base, while US is the code, so it is doing what it should do according to the strength in dollar. So let's quickly see what it's doing even on the 1 hour time frame. So even on 1 hour time frame, we can see that after this massive fall, price is trying to push up to see if it could gain its momentum back. That would probably happen in the early morning hours of the trading hours, before the fundamental that comes out by 1:30 p.m. today, before the PPI data that will be coming out. That will give us a new direction of what this structure would look like. But so for this morning hours, might be looking out for a buy for GBP USD. And as I said, because we are going to want to take these trades to make some good money for ourselves before before the data comes out at 1:30 p.m. So I will encourage us to look at it on a lower time frame. So for GBP USD this morning, I would go in for a buy. I'll go in for a buy, but I wouldn't buy now, right? I wouldn't buy now. This 30 minutes candle just has 3 more minutes to close. So for my preference, I'll wait for this candle to close before I go in for a buy. Okay, I'll wait for this candle to close before I go in for a buy, or going for a sell, depending on the directions that it will go. So preferably, I'll wait for it to close, and then, but when I'm looking out for a buy, please, here will be my take profit, the term code support 1.25770, 1.25770 will be my take profit for a buy. Remember that I'm not going in for the buy now. I'm waiting for this candle to close in some minutes time before I'll decide if my buy would be concrete or not. I'll give you the reason why I'm not going for a buy. You can see that price is having issues breaking this zone. Here, there is a resistance here. There's a resistance here, and price have been trading below it for a long time. So, but if this candle is able to break above it this morning, we can see it's going to test this resistance around on this price zone that I gave you. So that's the major reason, because of this resistance here, and because price is not because of this resistance here, and because price is not has not been able to break above it, I want to see what this candle will do, if it's going to break above it and continue as a buy candle in the next candle, break above it and continue as a buy candle, then I'm going for a buy and take my profit at 1.25770. That will be my preference for a buy. But for a sell, I would also wait for price to come back to the lowest low it made yesterday, which is exactly sitting on this verified support. I wait for price to come back to the lowest low it made yesterday. It's sitting exactly on this verified support. It's going to be a tight sell, actually. So if price gets back to the verified support at price 1.25151, 1.25151, I'll go in for a sell, and then I'll take my profit just sitting exactly at the next verified support. Is, as I said, it's going to be a tight sell. It's going to be, in fact, it is a sell that will encourage you to take as a scalping sell, right? It's a sell that will encourage you to take as a scalping sell. You can see that there's really no candles since yesterday. In fact, since day before yesterday, below this point that I'm asking us to go in for a sell, right? So it's going to be like a scalping. So it's a sell that you would, if price gets there, you have to watch it while it's going on. So 1.25151 for the sell, and take my profit at 1.24963. But I really do not see it happening this soon. As I said, my preference for GBP USD will be a buy. We can see that the 30 minutes candle has closed. It's already forming a candle indicating another buy. So give it another 2-3 minutes. If it continues, max another 5 minutes. If it continues to buy, I'll go in for a buy. As I said, I'll take my profit at 1.25770. So that will be that for GBP USD this morning. Quickly, let's see what is happening to okay, so quickly let's see what is happening to Euro USD. Euro USD. Let's remember that there's a fundamental coming out from the Eurozone today. There'll be a fundamental coming out from the Eurozone today at 1:15 p.m. At 1:15 p.m. So, and then we also, as I mentioned earlier, they're also having an Eurogroup meeting. So it might want to give a positive outlook. Might want to give a positive outlook to the Eurozone and investors in the Eurozone. They would want to take advantage of it and see what is happening in that zone. Hello. So we'll be seeing what is happening in this zone at this moment. Okay. So you see what is happening in this zone. We can see how because of the strength in dollar, we can see how euro fell drastically. You can see the fall. And one thing I like about fundamental is that there's always this place of retracement. Okay, there's always this place of market correction. That's the right word, market correction. So all these falls and rise that we're seeing, at some point, it might also be able to correct itself. But however, it might not be a good outlook for euro this today again. Reason being that there's also another fundamental coming out from the Eurozone. There's another fundamental coming out from the Eurozone. So it's also going to make it it's also going to make it very possible. Please hold on. So it's also going to make it very possible for us to be able to look at what is happening in this zone and take advantage of it. But what I'm trying to explain is that investors would look out for the data or what is being discussed in the Eurogroup meeting, because it's going to give an indication of what to look out for in their economy. It's going to give us an indication of what to look out for in the economy. So investors will be looking out for this. And good thing is that there's a fundamental coming out from this zone. So why we say that Euro USD is low at the moment, we should bear this in mind, right? There might be a spike in the Eurozone today. There might be a spike in the Eurozone for two reasons, majorly because of the Eurogroup meeting, and secondly, because of the fact that they're also having a fundamental coming around their region. So, but one interesting thing about this instrument is that its fundamental will come out first before the PPI. So like 15 minutes before PPI. So we would have taken advantage of every volatility that will come out from it before the euro will now react as a result of what will happen from dollar. I hope my explanation makes sense to us. Okay, so let's look at any possibilities that we can take advantage of from the Eurozone today. Looking at it on the 15 minutes time frame, we can see that price has been ranging from around the lowest from around where price closed yesterday. You can see what price is doing. It's just like trading on a line. You can see the line. It's just like trading on a line. It has not been able to break between this verified support, this verified resistance, and this turncoat resistance. price has just been trading between these zones. So for Euro USD today, we'll wait for a breakout. Let's look at it from the 30 minutes time frame. I like to look at it from the 30 minutes time frame. Let us see the zones that it is respecting. So on the 30 minutes time frame, Euro USD has also been respecting this week. It has been trading between this weak resistance and this proven support. For me personally, when there's a tight zone, trading zone like this, I like to wait for a breakout. So I'll be giving my entries this morning on Euro USD, waiting for this breakout. Preferably, I'll wait for price to break above this weak resistance, okay, and take my profit just here for a buy. 1.07500, 1.07500 for a buy, 1.07500 for a buy, and for the take profit 1.07654, 1.07654 for my take profit. Just hold on, please. Okay, so and then 1.07654 for my take profit. That would be my preference for a buy. But for a sell, as I said, I'm waiting for price to break these zones. I'm going to be trading just immediately price breaks the zones. I'll take my sell at 1.07200. Once price breaks below this proven support, and then I'll come and take my profit. Just it's a tight, both of them are tight trades, both the buy and the sell, right? They are tight trades. So what those that do daily trading would have done is that those that waited for price to break this proven support to go in for a sell, and this turncoat resistance, just break this resistance before going. That's for those that do what we call not daily traders, like trend traders that trade trends. So they are not necessarily going to close the trades today, but for us intraday traders, we're just going to trade within these tight zones, right? And especially the fact that there's fundamental coming out later today in the afternoon, so we want to ensure that we take profits, close our trades before this fundamentals comes out later today. So my entry for a sell 1.07200, take profit 1.07019, 1.07019 for the Euro USD. Let's quickly move to USD JPY. USD JPY, this instrument by default is supposed to sell. Sorry, this instrument by default is supposed to buy. I was meant to say buy because USD is the base instrument, while JPY is the quote instrument. So I like Japanese yen. I love Japanese yen. Let us see something. Let's see. This is on 1 hour time frame. Let's see it on daily time frame. I like Japanese yen. Do you know why I like Japanese yen? I like Japanese yen in the sense that they have this way of fighting back. They have this way of fighting back, right? I'm not saying that the strength of dollar wasn't able to override them. Yes, it was, but most times it does not usually have massive effects on it, compare it to maybe Euro or GBP. It does not usually have so much effect on it. They have this way of, okay, you are beating us, so don't worry, but we are coming behind you, right? So you can see that there's usually you can see the difference in, though it's made over 100 pips from where price was to over 100 points rather from where price was to where the fundamental took it to. But however, they would also have a way of cushioning their economy to ensure that they're not totally lagging behind. That's one thing I like about the USD JPY. So let's look at it on the 30 minutes time frame. Remember I said earlier that all trades today, I'll be looking at it on a 30 minutes time frame. I'm trying my best not to bring in any indicator in this trading. I want us to just look at taking our entries using zones because of the fundamental that is coming out today. I do not want to talk about, I do not want to use any indicator. I just want us to look at the zones where price is trading, trade within that zone, or wait for breakouts that would likely happen soon around that zone so that we can take profits. So for USD JPY this morning, my preference would be a sell, looking at this market structure, because price have gotten, if we had started this analysis when price was around this zone, I would have gone in for a buy, because I know that it is going to be it's going to buy to test this resistance up here. It's going to buy to test this resistance up here. So I would have gone in for a buy, right? So now that price have gotten to this resistance and is experiencing rejection, so my preference would be a sell. I'll wait for price to trade a little below where it's experiencing rejection, then I'll go in for a sell. So for my sell this morning, I'll just wait for price to trade up to this point. Yeah, 153.006. That'll be my entry for a sell this morning. 153.006. And then I'll take my profit just before the week support, 152.852. 152.852. Let's see how many pips is that. Okay. All right. So it's a very tight spread. You do not really have let me be sure. Okay, my show ax line is there. Okay, so the spread is very tight. We might have to use let's see before we can see the spread. So the good thing is that it's a very small spread. Can you see it? Very small spread. So you'd have been able to make some good money, and then the spread is basically very insignificant here. All right. Just wanted to check the spread so that we'll be sure that we're making some good money. All right, so this will be my sell entry, 153.006, 15 for the sell entry, and 152.852 for my take profit. All right, I know that if you have been following, if you have understood the structure, I'm taking this class with you this morning, you will know what my preference for a buy would be. You know what my preference for a buy would be. I know we have a lot of intellects in this class, so let me not leave it open for us to, like I said, one or two persons tell me what you think or where we think our buy will be, but let's not, we'll have a lot of professors in this class, so let's continue. Okay, so for my buy, as I said, that following the structure I've been giving, you know what my buy preference will be. I'll wait for price to have a breakout, break above the untested resistance very well before I go in for a buy. And then, so I'll be looking out for a buy at 153.365. I like to stay, it is always good to stay away from zones. Don't treat resistance and support as lines. Treat them as zones so that whenever price is able to break above those zones, you'll be sure, not that it will just be a fake out. You think that it has broken it and it hasn't, and before you know, your trade, it just picks your trade and goes back to its original direction. Okay, so I'll wait for price to break above that point, 153.365. And if price is able to, you can see that there's usually no resistance is looking forward today. So if price is able to break that point, I would go in, I would take my profit. I just see that it will buy more if price is able to break above that point. So I'll look for a profit around 153.696, 153.696, but my preference would be a sell. My preference would be a sell. That will be my preference this morning. All right, so I'm trying to see if there are really any queries from the chat that I need to attend to, but I think some persons are also helping to answer the questions. Thank you. All right, so this will be my price setup for USDJPY. For those that are asking for entry points, I'll call it again. For a buy, 153.365 as the entry point, that's a buy stop. and then 153.606 as my take profit for the buy stop. And then for the sell, 153 is a sell stop, 153.006. And then I'll take my profit at 152.852. That is that on USD JPY. I'll look at Euro JPY. Let's look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY is ideally shouldn't be an instrument that should be affected by CPI. Okay, but however, we could see that a little effect of CPI per se was seen on it. So I have too many marks here. Let me see if I can pull them off. Great. Okay, so for Euro JPY on daily time frame, we can see that Euro JPY has been trading between 165 and 162 region. 165 and 162 region. Price gets to around 165, it gets rejected and comes to 162 region. And when it gets to 162 region, it goes back. So this coming down again is the second time price is doing that. So it means that for anyone who's who is a trend trader on this instrument, they look out for a breakout. At any time on daily time frame that price is able to break above this point, trust me, you are looking for a long buy. And the same thing for a sell. At any time price is able to break 162 region for a sell, you'll be expecting that price will fall all the way to 160, all the way to 160 region. So this is the structure of Euro JPY on daily time frame. And then yesterday it closed as a sell candle. So we started seeing a rejection candle from Tuesday. Started seeing a rejection candle from Tuesday, and yesterday candle, Wednesday candle also closed as a sell candle, price pushing down. Though today we are seeing some some buy trends. However, I might also buy, but I do not really see it breaking above this untested resistance where price has been experiencing rejection. Yes, so this instrument might buy because of the euro, because euro being the base instrument. I'll give you two reasons why we might see a buy on this instrument on the daily time frame outlook. The reason is simple. The reason is because of the fact that there's a Eurogroup meeting going on, which I said that investors will be interested to know the outcome and the projections of that Eurogroup meeting. And then remember that there'll be ECB press conference today again, and then there's also another news coming out from the Eurozone. All this might give a positive outlook for the euro as an instrument today. So, but quickly, let's look at it on a 30-minute time frame, take our trades and move on, because we are all going to get ready for the fundamental later today. Please make sure you have some good funds in your account to trade fundamental. Please don't go and be trading fundamental with 100,000 naira. Please and please, that's not a great thing to do for your account, so that you don't give yourself some unnecessary headache. All right. So for a buy this morning, I will wait for price to break above this point. I'll give you my reasons. My reason is this. This is about after the fundamental yesterday, or after this massive fall that happened yesterday. Okay. So price tried to push back up. Price tried to push back up, and it got to this point and got rejected. Okay, so this morning again, you can see that price is tending towards that direction, and we can see a signs of rejection again. So for a buy for me totally today, I'll wait for price to break above this point before I go in for any buy on Euro JPY. Once it's able to break above this point, we might be looking all the way for a buy, all the way to the untested resistance. But because it's a long ride, I do not expect that price will go straight forward up like that. So I would like to secure my profit at 164.739. Secure my profit at 164.739. If it continues to buy after this point, then I'll be looking at buying all the way to this untested resistance. Okay, so my entry for a buy stop will be 164.616. My take profit will be 164.739. Okay, that'll be my take profit for a buy. I know two questions might be going through our mind. Why is she leaving this price movement, this space here, or the price movement before it gets to our entry? I would have made some good money in a buy. Yes, that is when you are scalping. Yes, if you are scalping, if you're a good scalper, if you are scalping on 5 minutes time frame, yes, you can trade within these zones and make some money. But if you are not scalping, you're doing a regular a normal trade or a normal trade setup, this will be like your best point. You wait for this breakout, price to break above where it has been experiencing rejection. And then for a sell this morning, looking at what price is doing around this verified resistance, I would wait for price to break up below here. Below here. I'm an Igbo girl. You just said my hair. Okay, don't mind me. So I'll wait for price to break below here, 164.268, right? And then I'll take my profit here. I like to give reasons. I always like to give reasons to the best I can why I'm taking my entries at some point and taking my profit at some point. I'm taking my profit here, 164.112, a little above it actually. I don't have to wait for price to get exactly there safely here. Why I'm taking my profit there is because we can see that for today, this is the lowest low. For today, this is the lowest low that price has made, right? 164,119. That's around the lowest low that price have made today. So there's probability that when price is coming down again to that point, okay, price is also going to experience a rejection. There's probability that when price is coming down to that point, it's also going to experience a rejection. So I like to secure my profit. But however, if price is able to break below the lowest low that it has made today, you can now go in for a further sell. You can now go in for a further sell. As I said, some persons will also query, why am I leaving all this space? I could make some profit in a sell before price gets to her entry. Good. If you are scalping, please scalp it. But however, remember that there's a resistance here and then price is above it. So this resistance is serving as a support now because price is above it. Even though it's a resistance, price is above it. Until price is able to come down below it, then we might not know what its definition of that zone might be. All right, so quickly let's look at what is happening to AUD USD as an instrument. AUD USD as an instrument wasn't an exception to what happened yesterday in the market. We can see the long fall that happened. That is basically because the AUD is the base instrument and USD is the quote. So it's doing the reverse of what the quote should is doing. What is doing the reverse because that's what the quote is doing. So the AUD is selling while dollar is buying. That's what it means. All right. And as I said, there's always room for market correction. But unfortunately, this market correction, we might not see today because of the fact that there's also fundamentals today. We might not see this market correction today because of the fact that there's also fundamentals today. So we might be looking out for, we might be seeing the market riding based on these fundamentals again today. All right. So quickly on AUD USD, on the 15 minutes time frame, we can see that the way price has been struggling to have a breakout. But the good thing is that once this breakout happens, it will just go through a direction and we'll be able to make some good money. Okay, so let's trade this instrument on the 15 minutes time frame. Let's trade it on the 15 minutes time frame. Once price is able to break above this point, once it's able to break above this ranging zone. So going for a buy at 0.65, 0.65323, 0.65323, and then I'll take my profit. I know if you are a if a region trader like me, or if you are using this strategy, I trade every strategy actually, but for the purpose of this morning, I said we're going to be trading between zones. So if you're a zone or region trader, you will just know where my entries or my take profits will be as I'm explaining it. All right. So I would also secure my profits before the turncoat resistance. Yes, I like to secure my profits before the turncoat resistance or before any support because we do not know what price will do there. And as I normally tell people that, traders, that you know that we say that when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. So when there's this indecision in the market between the buyers and the sellers, the money of the trader suffers. And me, as an Igbo girl that I am now, my money cannot suffer. So I'd rather stay away and watch the fight. who win, I follow. That is what a trader does. You clap your hand and follow the winner. If the buyer is the winner, well, winner, oh, we go. If the seller is the winner, and so we go. All right. So that is it for this for a buy. 0.65323 for a buy and 0.65431 as my take profit. For a sell, again, we wait for price to break below this resistance that is been ranging on, but just a little away from it. I wait for price to break below it here. And then, of course, take my profits before, just on or before the proven support. On or before the proven support, I'll take my profit. There's going to be a tight sell. I will tell you why. You see this point here would have been around the best place to take my profit. But however, we could just move it a little away from there, right? Just before the proven support. Reason because we can see that price today, here is the lowest low that price have made. So if price coming down to that point again, it might not be able to break below it totally or completely. All right. So that is why I will take my profit there. For a sell, AUD USD 0.65120, sell stop 0.65008, take profit for AUD USD. All right, for AUD USD. So let's quickly look at one more instrument, one more currency before we move to other instruments that we can likely look at. GBP card, Great Britain pound and the Canadian dollar. So we're going to be looking at this instrument. This instrument was also slightly affected by CPI yesterday. Yes, I said something about Euro JPY that ideally shouldn't have been affected by CPI. Same thing with GBP card. But I'll tell you why it looks like most of these currencies were also affected, even if it was not directly even if they were not directly from having a pair with the US. The reason is because, as I explained earlier, dollar is the world currency. So every transaction is done in dollar. So this instrument is GBP card, but it is priced in dollar. It is priced in dollar, right? So whatever is happening to dollar will also have a direct or an indirect effect on it. Okay, that is why we could see that ideally CPI shouldn't affect it because it is not from their region, right? But because it is priced in dollar, so it has a direct effect or indirect effect on it, as the case may be. Okay, so for this particular instrument, GBP card, let's look at it on a 30 minutes time frame. So for my 30 minutes, on the 30 minutes time frame, we can see that price is pushing. It's pushing. It's going up there to trying to do the correction, trying to do market correction. But all the same, we can see that it's experiencing a kind of rejection, even though it is pushing up. It's experiencing a kind of rejection. And you see at this point here, this is like an invisible resistance looking at the current price structure. Okay, so as much as I want to buy, I can only scalp this instrument up to 171893, right? I can scalp it up to that point because there's probability that price might fall from there. Looking at what price did yesterday and then it's doing the same thing again today. Okay, this is for scalping. If you want to scalp a buy on this instrument, you can decide to go in for an instant buy and set your take profits before 1.71893. All right, but for a buy stop, as usual, I'll wait for price to break above that zone. I'll wait for price to break above that zone. I'm going for a buy at 1.71909, 1.71909, right? And then where will I take my profit? Here, this long candle here, where price was rejected yesterday. I'll take my profit before that point. This is where price was rejected again. Price tried to push up from there, was rejected there. So I will come down below it and take my profits there at 1.7 1.71993. Okay, so the essence of these signals are these. I would like to explain again. If I were you, once price gets to 1.71993 and it keeps buying, so it means that price is going to test this verified resistance. All you do is to follow the buy, keep entering buys, take your profit, enter buy, but beware of your verified resistance as you point to stop this trade. So that is one clue this trade hints or trade signals that we do together gives us. So it doesn't just end there. When you see that price have broken this point, you take profit and keeps buying, going for a buy and make some good money for yourself. But for a sell this morning, I would wait again for price to come down here. I'll wait for price to come down here. As I said, for a scalper, yes, you can scalp. Can scalp a sell. If you see that price is selling, I can scalp a sell all the way down here. But however, even if it is not selling, but this price structure for a sell can change depending on what price does as it goes up now, right? But for the moment, let me take the sell all the way back to this point. 1.71747. But it might just be a fake out. Okay, 1.71747. And take my profit at 1.71. 1.71656. 1.71656. I'll take my profit there for a sell. For a buy, 1.71909, take profit 1.71993. Yes, you can scalp this instrument both for a buy or a sell, depending on price structure. You can scalp this instrument. Yeah, so that is it for GBP card. Quickly, let's see what oil is doing. Okay, so for a sell for oil this morning, first of all, let's see what oil is doing on daily time frame. Oil has been buying. Oil has been buying, and there has been this projection of oil getting to the $90 per barrel for some time, for some days now. I would see that oil has gotten into that zone. But if oil is going to be able to sustain that momentum, actually, is what we do not know. This is just to say to us of how much Nigerian economy is not really contributing to the world economy. Now, ideally, if Nigeria as an oil producing country is on holiday for the past 3 days, meaning that production and movement, oil consumption is reduced. Oil consumption is reduced because it's not a holiday of it's not a festival, it's not let me use the word, it's not a holiday like the big Salah, for instance, where people move around a lot, people travel around a lot, okay, or Christmas where people are traveling around. So there's also oil consumption to some extent, but this is more of a holiday that keeps us inbound at home more to celebrate more with friends and family or within our community, right? Because there's still big Salah coming ahead of us. All right, so normally if Nigeria was an economy that is as an oil producing nation that is really contributing to the world economy and world decisions, oil is not supposed to buy within these 3 days, right? We are supposed to see the price of oil falling down because one of the highest producers of oil and also one of the highest consumers of oil too are on break. So companies are not working. Vehicles, there are no much vehicular movement. All right, there's not much economic activities requesting for oil. But however, to see how less important our contribution is, I'm not saying it's not important, it is, but the significant level is very low per se, right? That is why we can see that even amidst our 3 days holiday, oil was still buying and attaining new highs. Okay. The good thing is that even as Nigerians, even though our economy is not adding up in the world economy per se, we are not restricted from taking advantage of it. That's the interesting thing about this market. It's a respecter of no region. You can trade from anywhere in the world. It's not tribalistic. It's not a tribalistic market. Yes, I've gotten the right word. It's not a tribalistic market. Okay, so let's see what oil is doing. Okay, so for oil this morning, we can see that oil has attained a new high, getting to the $90 per barrel price. Our ability to sustain that high is what you and I do not know. In history, actually, oil has gone above that, very, very above that in history. So it's not like it's a new high, it's just a new recent high among the current current times that we are. But in history, oil have gotten far, far above that, especially during the Russia and Ukraine war outbreak. And then just to give us a heads up, that war seems to be booming up again. It's not like it has ended before, but it has subsided to a greater extent before now. But as of last week and last 2 weeks, from what we are seeing in the news, that war seems to be booming again. That war seems to be booming again. I do not feel good for people in that region, but it's just something that we need to note by the side in our trading activities. So for oil this morning, let's quickly look at it too on the 30 minutes time frame. So on this 30 minutes time frame, I would like to trade oil. Oil is more of a fundamental new instrument. So, but let's look at it technically this morning, pending when these fundamentals will come out. Yes, you can sell all the way from here, right? Okay. Let's do a little of a scalping trade. Let's wait for price to get to 90.50. I'm going for a sell and take my profit just where I wanted to go in for the sell initially. So 90.50 as my entry point, 90.33 as my take profit, 90.50 as my entry point, 90.33 as my take profit. That would be for a sell. For a buy, I do not have a best setup other than waiting for price to break above this zone. Yes, you can see that price I'm expressing rejection there, 90.95 for a buy, and then take my profit at 91.27. 91.27. This buy is not really it for me in this morning, as a sell is it for me this morning, except market structure changes later, maybe another 1 hour from now, but a sell is it for me this morning on oil. So let's look at gold. I see that a lot of people have been shouting good, good, good. I hope you are not golding on 50,000 naira or golding on 100,000 naira. That's when you see them shouting good, 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 especially when you're in a loss in that good. There are instruments that you should avoid when you are trading below 100,000 naira. But I want to believe those that are saying good, good, have the good fund. You need good fund to trade gold. You need good fund to trade gold. Please don't do, because I go just to give money. That is why I'm trading it small. There's nothing like trading it small. Trade it well. Trade it well. Trade it with the money that it requires and make the money. Don't trade it with endangering your funds. I see a lot of us do that. 50,000 naira, you have 10 trades on gold. And when it starts crumbling, you start saying, hey, I don't know what is happening to gold. Nothing is happening to it, Salma. You are just using what you are not meant to use to trade it. That is what is happening to it. Okay, so for gold this morning on the daily time frame, we see that gold has been pushing up, except for yesterday, where dollar gained a whole lot of strength. And as we saw in the daily time frame on USD IGS, dollar was able to recover about a 4 days loss that it has encountered in just 1 day. So reasons why we saw that gold closed yesterday as a bearish candle, and then it might also be able to continue on that bearish run today, especially if the PPI data that comes out today would go in the direction of dollar. If the PPI data that will come out today would give a further clue that the US region is cooling down and inflation is gradually being a thing of the past in their economy. So we might see a further fall on this instrument today if the PPI data comes in the favor of dollar. But unfortunately, the PPI data doesn't come out in the favor of dollar. We might just see this instrument going up again, continue in this uptrend. Okay, so I'd rather pick new ones. I have too many of them here. Okay, so for gold today, we can see that gold opened just around where it closed yesterday, and it's been able to push up. Okay, it has pushed up, trying to go towards the verified resistance that price got rejected at yesterday, but it didn't get very close there before it experienced its own rejection. It's trying to form what to call an arc. It has formed a double bottom as it is now. Okay, it has formed a double bottom or a very small arc, and this indication is giving us an indication for price pull up, looking at price on this time frame. So but we have to wait for a confirmation of this pull up for this current candle to close. So this current candle still has about 19 minutes to go before it will close. I will just give my price setup for gold because we cannot wait for it. So for a sell, I will wait for price to break around this double bottom that is forming. It's forming a double bottom here. Price have come back to where it started from today again. That is why I'm calling it a double bottom. So, but I'll wait for price to break below the double bottom zone, break below it well before we can look out for a sell, right? Even though it is selling now, I will go for a sell stop, except the fact that I want to scalp. Yes, for scalping, I won't even go for an instant sell because of the double bottom that I am seeing there now. So I wait for price to come below it at 2331.33. 2331.33 for a sell stop, and then take your profit. I'm sure you know where my take profit to be by now. 2326.96, 2326.96, 2326.96. That'll be my take profit for the sell stop. Yes, that's because that's around where price started pushing up from yesterday. So if it's going to sell further, I would have secured my profit there first. If it continues to sell from 2326 going down, I will continue the sell and take my profit anywhere before this verified support. You can see clearly that price was rejected there yesterday. So I would also continue a sell all the way down to that point. Before that point, I'll take my profit. So that's my price setup for a sell this morning. As I said, I'm waiting for this current candle to close and to see where it will close and what it will close to determine what it will look like. But I see a double bottom here indicating a price rejection. That price will push up from here. And then for a buy, I'll wait for price to trade all the way back to this point again. 2337.83, 2337.83 as my entry point for a buy stop, and I'll take my profit at I'll just take my profit at some point before where price was experiencing rejection. 2342.44. Yes, by the time you secure this profit and it continues to buy, just as I explained, you can buy all the way to the verified resistance, but buy all the way first to the highest high that our price have made today. Secure that profit. If it continues again, you consider buying all the way to this point and taking your profit. I'm doing this explanation so that when price have gotten to this point, it doesn't look like I'm stranded. Okay, it's just the trading and that is it. No, you can actually take advantage of these other opportunities I just explained and make some good money for yourself. Okay, you can see that price is almost pushing to our entry point for you sell. Okay, all right, so let's look at US 100. US 100. Of course, we all know what US 100 will close on a daily time frame. Okay. So for a daily time frame yesterday, it closed as a bearish candle. And one thing it did for itself yesterday also was to also recover losses that it has made for the gains that it has made for the past 2 days. It was able to lose those gains. That's just because of the strength in dollar. US 100 is and indices from the US zone. And then they are normally would say that their currencies and their indices don't have strength at the same time. So if the currency is doing good, people invest more in the currencies and not in their shares, not in their stock market. So when the currency is not doing good, you see a lot of investment in the stock market. So that is why when dollar is rising, you see their stocks falling. When dollar is falling, you see their stocks rising. But there have been some times in the year, in the course of this year, when it hasn't obeyed that law per se. It hasn't obeyed that law, and that's also as a result of the um uncertainties in their economies during those periods. All right. So let's look at US 100 today again. You know that what it will close as at the end of today will be a function of what's happened from the PPI data that will be released later today. So looking at US 100 on our 30 minutes time frame setup, of course, you would know what my take will be. I'll wait for a breakout. I'll wait for a breakout above the weak resistance here to go in for a buy. And secondly, because price tried to push up to 1.8 region yesterday, 1.8233 yesterday and got rejected. So I'll wait for price to come again and break above where it was rejected yesterday. Safely, I would buy on 18250. 18250, 18250.93. I'll buy at that point, and then I'll take my profit at 18298.51. 18298.51. Just a little above the mid of this very long candle that formed yesterday. For me, if price is able to get to my take profit and continues to buy, I'll be looking at for a buy to cover this long bearish candle. But let the buy start first before we will now say where we are looking it is going into. Okay, and so for myself this morning, US 100 is ranging. It hasn't had any breakout, and we know the volatile time to trade it. Now, when there's fundamental, then during 2 p.m. 2:30 p.m. when the US stock market will open, that's another time that we see a lot of volatility around this zone, this region. So for my US 100 this morning for a sell, I'm going for a sell at 18170.40, 18170.40, and then I'll take my profit at price 18129. 18129.07, 18129.07, 18129.07. That'll be my entries for a sale this morning. That'll be my entries for a sale this morning. Okay. Technopova. You said you don't know who has been withdrawing money from your Rally account. Please reach out to your account manager if you know, or I'm going to send you a private message of my number. Please call me after this class. Nobody can withdraw money from your account without your consent except something went wrong. Nobody can, except somebody that has access to your client office and has access to your account, your bank account. Okay, Technopova, I've sent you a direct message of my personal number. Please call me immediately after this class. Let's see to that ASAP. All right. Okay, so let's quickly look at DE40 and probably call it a day from there. DE40 is a German stock, so news or data around the Eurozone affects it. And I have said so much about the Eurozone, the positivity or the lookout of investors' interest that would happen there today for so many reasons. The group meeting that is taking place, the fundamental that is coming out, and the ECB conference. So D40 on a daily time frame is on an uptrend. Wow, 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 wow. This is where trend traders are cashing out. Trend traders are cashing out. A trend trader who have seen this setup would have gone in for a buy here on a daily time frame, and of course their profit they would have taken profit by now, because you wouldn't have set your take profit exactly on this week resistance. Okay, that is it on daily time frame. So we can see that price is falling again. uh, this is emphasis on trend trader. The trend trader would say going for the trend trader will go in for a sell somewhere around this region and position to take their profit just around where price moved up from. Okay, that is not our focus. Our focus is how to make money this morning. All right. So for D30 on the 30 minutes time frame, we can see that D30 has been ranging too. D30 has been ranging too. So I'll go in for a sell once price is able to break below this zone. Okay, I'll go in for a sell, right? And then I'll take my profit here, exactly here. Safely, I would even go up because of this rejection here. Because of this rejection here yesterday, I would go further up. Okay, so I'll go in for a sell once price is able to break this lowest around the low of rejection yesterday. It's not the lowest low of yesterday, but that was like another low of rejection yesterday. That's around price 18283, 18283.6. I'll take my profit at 18253.0. 18283.6. I'll take my profit at 18253.0. That will be my entry for a sell stop for D40. And then for a buy, as I said, breakout is what I'll wait for. 18349.3. 18349.3. But safely, I like to go a little further just in case of what I call a fake out. It might not be a breakout, it might just be a fake out. Okay, 18356. Please, your entry point for D40, 18356.7. 18356.7 with my take profit just here. Just this is a rejection point, so there's probability that price gets there again. Price will experience rejection now. Okay, price will experience rejection now. So price will experience rejection. So reasons why I will take my profit just exactly there. So my take profit for my D40 will be on price 18382.6, 18386 points. I don't want it to be exactly at the tip there so that you would have secured profit before it rejects. Okay, 18384.5, 18384.5. That'll be our take profit for DE40. Okay, and so as I said, we'll call it a wrap with this instrument. Today is fundamental. I've said so. There's hardly everything I've not said today. I've not talked about the fundamental today. Please get your account ready for it. Get your account ready for it. Get your account ready for it, and let's make money this morning and make money during the fundamentals that is going to come out later today. For the fundamentals, make sure you're in our WhatsApp channel. Make sure you are in our WhatsApp channel to join to get trade hints for the fundamentals and make some good money for yourself. Make some good money for yourself. Make some good money for yourself. All right. It's a fine place to leave it today. Please do enjoy your holiday. The news is coming out today by 1:30 p.m. News is coming on the US region, 1:30 p.m. On the Euro region, 1:15 p.m. So from 1:10 p.m., we'll start dropping trade hints in the channel. Take advantage of it and do have a peaceful day. Enjoy your holiday before we enter the hustle and bustle of tomorrow. Work, enjoy your holiday and have a good day. Bye.